He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play wins it for Frazier.
Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. Makayaton touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Kaluja wins it. The championship.
He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play wins it for Frazier.
Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. Makayaton touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Kaluja wins it. The championship.
It's the biggest game in the regular season of New Jersey boys lacrosse, and it comes from Coco Zello Field in Morristown on the campus of Delbarton. It's the battle for New Jersey supremacy, featuring the Pirates of Seton Hall Prep and the Green Wave of Delbarton. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here inside the Delbarton School. My name is Kevin Connolly, joined alongside the coach, John Hay. And Coach Hay, it is number 1 versus number 2, seeding on the line in the state playoffs. This should be one of the best games we see all season long.
Kevin, it's so great to be back here with you, broadcasting. Been a while, but you have to remember, it is 1-2, depending where you look. This is not a done deal right now. Delbarton, they are in the latest NJ.com rankings, 1 in the state. Seton Hall is number 2 in the state. But if we go by lax numbers, which the power rankings, of course, determine seeding, Seton Hall Prep is number 1, Delbarton number 2, and if you go by U.S. Lacrosse itself, 18th in the country. Delbarton is future consideration.
Well, let's start with those visiting Seton Hall Prep Pirates. Last time out, they defeated Livingston 13-3. Previous to that, they won the Essex County title in their closest game of the season yet against a really feisty James Caldwell team, 5-4.
Well, that was a David Goliath matchup. You can find that on the on-demand feature of NFHS Network on the D1 Media Pro page. Also on YouTube, follow us at D1 Media Pro, D the number 1 Media Pro on all social media. They just ran into a hot tendy. Let's be honest, it was the Peony Show. That kid put on an absolute clinic. It was a stunner. He kept his guys in there, and Seton Hall squeaks by with the victory.
They're 15-0 on the season, and they have a really balanced attack. You look up and down their roster, they have 4 different players with at least 25 goals.
Yeah, I was talking yesterday with Ross Turco, head coach of Seton Hall Prep, and I asked him, 15-0, you got to be excited. You know what he says? I'll be more excited when we're 16-0 tomorrow.
Well, this is certainly a game that everybody has circled on their calendar. Now take a look at the home team, Delbarton Green Wave. They're 12-3. All 3 of their losses have come against out-of-state foes. They lost to St. Anthony's of New York, Malvern Prep of Pennsylvania, and Chaminade of New York. However, last time out, they thoroughly defeated Mountain Lakes in the Morris County Tournament Championship.
Kevin, I want to put a little bit of context on this one. For those of you who are not in-depth into the lax numbers, into U.S. lacrosse rankings, you might not understand. Losing to St. Anthony 17-7 sounds like a blowout. No, they're first in the country. They are number 1 in North America by lax numbers. Malvern Prep, number 2 in Pennsylvania, 21st in the country. Chaminade, number 2 in New York behind St. Anthony's, number 12 in all of North America. So we're not talking about they are going and they're losing to ranked opponents. They are losing to the cream of the crop, the tippy top, and both teams have the 2 highest schedule difficulty in the state of New Jersey.
Well, speaking of Malvern Prep, Seton Hall actually will play them next this weekend. They'll be making the trip to Pennsylvania for that game. We still have a whole lot left to cover here in Morristown. It's Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton face off in just over 5 minutes here on D1 Media Pro. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss this one. Welcome back here into Cocoziello Field. Crowd still filing in. We're expecting a packed crowd here today at Cocoziello Field on the campus of Delbarton in Morristown, New Jersey. I'm Kevin Connolly, joined alongside the coach, John Hay. Talked about some of the big boys up top you're going to see offensively. Now let's talk about the two men going to be in between the pipes for Seton Hall Prep. They started junior in the cage. Adam Angel, 14 games played. He has 61 saves and only has allowed 32 goals.
Let me tell you, this is my speciality. Shout out Joao Silva, just got his 500th varsity save for the Red Raiders yesterday at the Ironbound Recreation Center. Angels comes into this one with a ridiculous 65 and 0.59% save percentage. With the high-quality opponents he sees every single outing, that is a preposterous save percentage. And on the other side, Troy's not much further off. He has 71 saves on 65 against, but I like to look at the team rating here because when it comes to saves, Prep has 91 saves on 45 goals against, a 66.91% percentage, and Delbarton comes in 112 of 92, a 54.9% save percentage. So edge goes to the Pirates.
Yeah, it should be a fascinating game. It feels like this has a low-scoring game written all over it.
Oh, you absolutely know that one, and I think this one is going to come down to the face-off. Prep, 61.87% on the face-off thus far this season. Delbarton, 60.73%. It is all going to come down to this, though it has not been low-scoring for them this far in the season. Prep has put up 197 goals total. Delby, 169. So those three categories, you're going to give the edge to the West Orange outfit.
Yeah, you talk about face-offs. Seton Hall Prep has two outstanding men in the middle. Theodore Coyle, who's winning face-offs at about a 65% clip. And then you have the lead face-off man in Luigi Pantano, who's winning them at just under a hair of 60%. And then Delbarton, 64% for Nick Facone. And then Ryan Trafford, going to talk about him a lot. He is a menace in the backfield for this Delbarton football team. He can also get it done here on the lacrosse field. He's winning faceoffs at 63% as well. Well, we're just about set for our national anthem here from Delbarton, and we'll go live to the field for that.
And we're going to be receiving the national anthem, a beautiful rendition from the parent of senior Delbarton, midfielder Patrick Eller. So we will step aside for Miss Stephanie Eller.
Stripes and bright stars through the
Stephanie Eller, a rousing performance of our great national anthem, getting some help from the Green Wave faithful. 12 minutes are on the clock, Kevin. The next time you hear from us, we are getting set number 1, number 2. This is going to be a barn burner.
It certainly is. We'll have opening face-off when we return here on D1 Media Pro. It's like Duke and North Carolina basketball. It's like Michigan and Ohio State football. It's Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton Lacrosse. And the battle for New Jersey supremacy begins right now here on D1 Media Pro. Kevin Connolly joined alongside the coach, John Hay. We are thrilled to be here at Coke Goes the Yellow Field on the beautiful campus of Delbarton. As we turn and look behind us, crowds still filing in. Student sections are packed, bleachers are packed, and here in a newly designed Coke Goes the Yellow Field with a beautiful multi-million-dollar field house to our right. We're standing on top of the new press box, and these teams will shake hands and get set to go. Number 1 versus number 2 in the NJ.com Top 20. The Green Wave 12-3. The Pirates 15-0. What's going to happen in the latest installment of this historic rivalry? Where we're about to find out. It's Seton Hall Prep in blue and Delbarton in white. Opening face-off, it'll be Ryan Trafford for the Green Wave against Luigi Pantano for the Pirates.
Pantano had a fantastic game in the ECT title. He's looking to replicate. We got a 5-on-5 right here. Who's going to be the first to the clinch? And we're underway.
Both teams are county champions, and opening face-off goes to Trafford as he loses his stick. Liam Oakes knocks it out of his hands, and we're going to get a violation, and it's going to have the opening possession be with the Pirates. Elijah Rippey off the bench and gets it stripped there by the stick of Jake Melancholy. Early turnover for Seton Hall as Delbarton will look to clear.
And that's dangerous with the over and back rule. Trying to get that close to the 50, a little bit of exuberance, early goings, but the LSM getting things started.
Pirates so good on the defensive end all season long. They're led by Notre Dame-bound Sean Light.
Another kid, absolute stunner, tri-state product.
.81 degrees here in Morristown. Wind gusting a little bit, upwards of 15 miles an hour, but should not affect anything on the field. It is just a perfect afternoon for Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton.
We're going to ball at X.
It'll come to Gray Doyle. The Doyle brothers, the stars for Delbarton. Gray with 23 goals, Willie Doyle with 21.
And I gotta talk about those young men. They are exceptional human beings. Came into the Newark Public Schools lacrosse clinic this summer. We'll talk about it later.
Gray, a senior, Willie, a junior. After the errant shot, it stays with Delbarton. Ferrara, he'll give it up. TJ Coffey, another football player. A lot of multi-sport athletes on the field for both teams. Get into that as we progress forward as well. There's a high pass. It'll go over the end line. Turnover, and it's going to Seton Hall.
And they're going to start with Oakes. This kid is a burner. He can just turn it on the jets and find his way to the other side of the field.
Pirates able to clear. Getting checked down from behind and hit hard on the play. Looked like that was A.J. Bixler, but Seton Hall stays with it. There's Elijah Rippey. First offensive possession for the Pirates.
Able to get the touch, and now they can set up their offense.
Again, Seton Hall, so balanced offensively. It's a team that graduated 7 of their top 8 scorers from a season ago, but they have 4 players with at least 24 goals. Leading the pack, Matthew Pepe with 55 points, 30 goals, and 25 assists. Losing his footing on the play was Jordan Lugo. And Lugo turns it over, trying to win it back. The ground ball to Rippey.
And he's going to take a possession timeout right there. We're going to be able to pay some bills and break this down with 9:23 left.
The Prep burns its first timeout of this opening quarter.
Yeah, but you got to love that. Ross Turco getting active there, keeping the possession, dangerous spot of the field. Now he could start off Anthony Terranova's offense from the 40.
Well, Tyler Julin, he's got 44 points on the season. See what the Pirates draw up out of the timeout. Julin at the top. There's Nolan Sable. Sable can fill it up himself as well. Trying to dodge towards the net. Gets shut down on a double. Now he gives it up. Near side, they'll fire a shot. It goes wide, and it'll stay with Seton Hall. Closest to the ends line was Luke Kensnovich, making one of his first returns after a midseason injury. Kensnovich fires a shot that also goes wide. Comes out on the sideline.
Seton Hall trying to come with
go.
some pace right here.
Just underway here in this first quarter between Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton. Scoreless between the two rivals. Exits Julin. Looking for space. Fires a shot. The Pirates strike first on the road.
And you gotta love it. Trusts his right. Just a little bit of lean in. Buries it. Top left post.
8:31 to play in the opening quarter. Tyler Julin has his 25th goal of the season, and it puts Seton Hall Prep on top.
And striking first in a game like this, so critical for the Pirates.
And it also is a goal out of the timeout, and Luigi Pantano wins the faceoff clean for Seton Hall. There's Andrew Daly. Pirate.
You have to absolutely love Terranova's offense. He uses all of the field, really spreads them out. He knows he's got the guns, and he's just looking for the next opportunity.
Pirates an early lead here on the road against Delbarton. Trying to take the throne on top of the New Jersey state rankings. The goal scorer, Julin, has a step. Julin with space, stumbling, stays on his feet, flips it over to Pepe. He winds up and puts the Pirates up by 2.
Absolute cannon. Where was his guy? That skip pass cannot be there. Somebody so absolutely ridiculously devastating, as is the main man, Matthew Pepe, tri-state guy, future Bryant Bulldog, and he puts him up too.
Team leading 56th point of the year. Team leading 31st goal. The assist from Julin, his 21st of the season. And with 7:43 to go in the opening quarter, Seton Hall Prep has the first 2. All after that Ross Turco timeout, a goal, a face-off win, and another goal. And the Pirates trying to jump all over Delbarton early. Errant pass. Ground ball gets picked up there by Nick Datro. Datro being hounded out on the perimeter by Patrick Quinn. He'll give it up. Delbarton only one sustained offensive possession in this first quarter. Approaching 7 minutes left to play.
And here he comes, Brody Davis. This kid is an absolute stud on defense. He is available for this afternoon. That is going to be a game changer for the blue and white.
Davis, another two-sport athlete, also a tight end on the Pirates football team this past fall. Delbarton trying to squeeze a pass into the middle. Instead, it comes out to the top, and there's the first save of the game from Adam Angel.
Adam Angel standing strong. Don't want to step in front of a cannon like that.
Gave you Angel's numbers coming into this game. That was save number 62 on the season in his 15th game played. Ball gets knocked out of the stick there of Sean Dixock. Two teams converge on it. Ground ball comes to Delbarton into the stick of Luke Carrillo. Green Wave trying to cut their deficit in half. Coffey, give it up around to X. There's Gray Doyle. Doyle met by Oakes at the side of the cage, trying to work around him, loses his footing, lost possession of the ball as well, but we will get a whistle on the play first before the ground ball's picked up. It's going to be a hold on the Pirates, no penalty, but possession stays with the Green Wave.
Yeah, you got to put it in the hands of Gray Doyle, the stud senior. Going to apply his trade next year at Bates in Maryland.
Oh, that's picked off from Brody Davis. Darrell Revis-esque now in transition for the Pirates, but Delbarton will slow up the run of the defenseman Davis.
Absolutely pristine fast break defense right there by the Green Wave.
He read it like a book. Forces Delbarton into a turnover. Now Seton Hall Prep will set up the attack, trying to go up by 3. 5.5 left to play here in the opening quarter. Seton Hall Prep has scored the first 2. Tyler Julin and Matthew Pepe. Back to Julin at the middle of the field. He'll make his way in, works around a couple of defenders, fires a shot. It goes wide of cage.
One thing I haven't seen yet is, they're trying to get Sable into this one. This kid has an absolute unmitigated cannon, and they're going to try to get him to the 10-10.
Kensnovic around the crease towards the side of the cage, trying to dump a pass in to Julin. Got knocked off his stick. Ground ball goes to Delbarton. Green Wave will attempt to clear with 5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Out on the far side, flipping it back across midfield, where Vincent Ferrara is there. He gets laid out by Pepe. Penalty flags fly. Ground ball still loose. Delbarton will pick it up. Penalty is coming on Seton Hall. And now we will get a whistle, and Delbarton's going to go on the man up.
Seton Hall Prep perfect on man down in the ECT last Saturday. They're going to have to do it again. Huddle up. Employ the illustrious Bob Turcos. Near man down.
We'll see who is called on the penalty. Looks like it's going to be Matthew Pepe, and he's going to serve 30-second penalty.
Yeah, as a coach myself, God, I hate when the attackmen take those types of penalties.
I think it's going to be a cross-check on Pepe. He wasn't able to hear what the officials told the official scorer's booth right in front of us here at the press box, but 30-second penalty to Pepe, so Delbarton on the man up with 4.5 to go in the opening quarter. 15 seconds left for Delbarton with the man advantage.
Content to swing this one around.
Send it back out to the top, one more to the side of the cage. There's Asher Testa. Testa gives it up as well with 3 seconds left. Delbarton cannot get a shot off on the penalty. We're back to even strength. Testa, one more. Near side cage, there's a shot. Angel comes up with the stop.
I was a little surprised by the Green Wave's lackadaisical attitude towards that man up. Sometimes on a hot day like this, though, you want to give your defense a little bit of a breather.
Delbarton 0 for 1 on the man up. They're still in possession. Another huge stop inside the crease from Adam Angel.
Drops a dime to Daly.
And here come the Pirates in transition. Daly up ahead. He'll get it into the stick of Christian Schweiger. And there's Sable that you talked about, Coach. Patiently holds the ball. Julian will come join the attack. Sable, far side of the cage, looking for space. He gets shut down by Jack Sartorius. Kensnovic back on the field as well for the Pirates. 3:10 left to go here in this opening quarter. 2 goals for Seton Hall Prep, the difference early on. Kensnovic once again towards the crease. Looking for space, twisting and turning, dropping it towards the middle. They score! Pepe, his second of the game.
And they are just leaving the crease wide open. I mean, it is a needle, but you know, as talented of a player as he is, he's going to thread that needle. And Pepe is going to bury it every single time.
2:58 to play in the opening quarter, and Seton Hall Prep has Delbarton in a 3-0 hole. Second goal of the game for Matthew Pepe.
Yeah, and if you are the Delbarton Green Wave right now, you need to get some outside shots. You have to let Aiden Troy see a couple softies. I mean, nothing that is thrown by a Pirate is soft, but he has to be able to see it, get a piece of it, and start to build up his confidence, because right now he is 3 for 0.
Pirates have been very strong at face-off. They don't win it this time. Instead, it's Nick Facone who takes Ryan Trafford's spot and wins the face-off for Delbarton. Facone looking to go coast to coast. Bounce shot left short of the crease. It'll go out of play and stay with Delbarton on the end line.
Transition goals are so important for all levels of lacrosse. They really get the guys hyped up. Let's see if Delbarton tries to pick up the pace.
They haven't had much offensively, and any shooting lane they've had has been eaten up by Adam Angel. Just over 2 minutes left to play in this opening quarter. That's seen Seton Hall Prep score the first 3. That pass gets deflected by the stick of Light. Goes over the end line. It'll stay with the Green Wave.
Suffocating defense, as always, by Seton Hall Prep.
Last year, they were arguably the best defense in the state. This year, more of the same. Talked about it at the top of our broadcast, led in the back by the Notre Dame-bound Sean Light. And it's always so difficult to play against this Pirate team when they get a lead. They're so good at defending and taking the air out of the ball and not giving their opponents a chance to come back against them. Talked about the difficult schedule that both these teams have played this season. Constantly going up against top 10 foes, whether it be out of Union County or even in their home county of Essex County, specifically of Seton Hall Prep.
And a lovely bingo right there. You gotta love it. Oh, unable to hand it is Light.
Sean Light was the first to the ball. He overran it, but now here come the Pirates in transition once again. Light will let one rip and send it wide.
Those are the type of shots, though, you want Troy to see.
No one closest to the end line for Seton Hall, so it goes to Delbarton with just over a minute to go. Light maybe getting a bit too anxious after he forced the turnover. Delbarton can take this just about down to the final possession of the first quarter if they wish. Under a minute to play, 3-0 Pirates.
Obviously, Kevin, not to ever say that any goalie wants to see a long stick midi shot, but
bleachers packed on both sides of the field. A long storied rivalry here in New Jersey. Green Wave trying to take some momentum into the second quarter. They try a bounce shot on Angel, and he says not so fast.
Most disappointing part is we will not see these two in the Curse Cup because they both are from the same division. We'll talk about that in a bit.
It could be the first of 2 matchups, though, in the non-public North A section that gets underway in a couple of weeks. Presumably these teams will be the top 2 seeds in that region. Pirates cannot clear in time with 13.6 on the clock, or actually check that. They called a timeout first. 13.6 left to play in the first quarter. It's been a dominant beginning for Seton Hall Prep, who leads by 3. Back here on the campus of Delbarton, Seton Hall Prep with a 3-0 lead against the Green Wave. Kevin Kelly on the coach, John Hay with you here on the D1 Media Pro page of the National Federation of High School Sports. Timeout called on the field. See if either of these teams can take some momentum going into the second quarter, because, Coach, currently all that momentum resides with the Pirates.
Yeah, you got to give it to Coach Giaquinto. He has absolutely dialed up a defensive game plan, keeping the Doyle brothers off the board, which is a feat teams rarely pull off in the first quarter. Pirates weren't able to clear. Timeout to Delbarton. Can they score before time runs out? A shot will go wide as the clock stops with 4.8. Speak of the devil, here comes Gray. Doyle, not a lot of time left. Got to fire a shot, goes back out to the top, and Delbarton cannot get a shot off. What a first quarter for the Pirates of Seton Hall Prep. They lead 3-0 as we hit the first quarter intermission. We'll be back in 2 minutes as we get set for the second quarter between the Pirates and the Green Wave. Start of the second quarter between Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton. Pirate Nation on the far end is going berserk, Coach Hay, as they've seen their team jump out to a 3-goal lead against top-ranked Delbarton, thanks to a goal from Tyler Julin and the last 2 from the leading scorer, Matthew Pepe. Yeah, you gotta get locked down Pepe. You're gonna have to put your number 1 on him, and he's got to stay. He cannot lose that discipline. Two teams, flip side. If you're just joining us, Seton Hall Prep is in the blue. Delbarton is in the white. Pirates have had an advantage on the faceoff so far here today, but that one is won by Delbarton. Liam Oakes gets a stick on it, sends the ball skyrocketing up into the air. No one can locate it. The stick of Patrick Quinn does. It's still loose near the crease. 2 Pirates collide to knock it free and send it to Seton Hall. Those little scrummies are so dangerous. At any moment, somebody can pick that one up and take it to the rack. Pirates will now try to clear. Haven't been able to twice in this game. Mason Mack will get it across for Seton Hall. Mason Mack, another 2-sport athlete with the Pirates, wide receiver on the football team as well. There's Nolan Sable. We're going to see how they get him more involved. Right now, a lot of confidence in the Pirates' end. There's Julin. Back for Sable. Good ball movement. Out for Brad Schuster. Haven't called his name today. And there's the first save of the game for Aiden Troy. Absolute stunner right there. That right-left motion. Able to get it off the bounce. And we've been talking about Troy needs to get his confidence up here. Just underway in this second quarter, 10:53 to play.
It'll stay with the Pirates on the far sideline. Now it's Schweiger. Uses the screen from Kensnovic. Gives it back to him at X. Kensnovic showing off the moves. Circles the cage. Sends it off the side of the net. Pirates thought they had another goal. Outlet pass. Beautifully placed right into the stick of Melanconi. He's looking to run in towards goal. And the Green Wave are on the board.
And just like that, the Green Wave Nation lights up.
Sixth goal of the season for Jake Melanconi. And Delbarton has their fans on their feet as it's 3-1 Seton Hall with 10:27 to play in the second quarter.
Jake Melanconi out of the Leading Edge program, captain of this team. He's going to apply his trade at Villanova next year.
One of the premier programs in the Big East. Delbarton and Trafford trying to win a faceoff. Oaks able to break it up, and the ground ball is still loose. Still it's loose on that far end, and trying to pick it up is Will Petticano, and a timeout is called on the ground ball pickup. 10:16 left to go in the second quarter. Delbarton on the board. They trail Seton Hall Prep 3-1.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly, yeah, I'm feeling.
Timeout called by Delbarton. They're finally able to win the ground ball. They'll have a possession after their first goal of the game. Jake Melanconi going coast to coast to put the Green Wave on the board.
And I just want to talk about the Doyle brothers. They're leading the Green Wave in scoring, but also they are leading off the field themselves. Gray Doyle, Willie Doyle, Nicholas Dotro, as well as Aiden Troy and Jack Sartorius and Liam Larson came to the Brick City this summer, to the Ironbound, helped coach some of the youth of Newark, helped grow the game, which is at its core the most important aspect of high school lacrosse.
Yeah, always great when you have these big-time players from these premier high schools like Delbarton and Seton Hall giving back to the youth and trying to inspire others to play this great game of lacrosse. I know a lot of the Seton Hall Prep players do that as well in the West Orange community. Certainly great sight to see. One timeout left for the Green Wave for the remainder of this second first half. What a shot from distance. Last two have gone to the home team. This time it's off the stick of Sean Dixock.
Yeah, uncommitted from the Steps Elite program. Drops an absolute money shot on the low right post of Angel.
His 17th goal of the season, and it brings Delbarton back within one of Seton Hall Prep. And coach, it's been a game of runs. The first three to Seton Hall, the next two to Delbarton.
It just shows how defensive efforts start offensive movements. This all comes about because of the work of Jake Melanconi.
9:59 left to play
and
here
now
in the second quarter.
Has the lead when it comes to the dot.
Green Wave trying to tie this game up. It's Melanconi once again. They'll roll one out near end. Jack Amato.
Changing from the midfield.
Last two goals have gone to the Green Wave. Trying to tie this game up at 3 apiece. After the Pirates dominated the opening 12 minutes. It's been all Delbarton here in the second quarter, and they've tied the game. Jack Amato, the goal, 3 in a row for Delbarton with 9:10 to go.
Swing, swing, sweet chariot, here comes The Green Wave faithful hyped up here in the booth as well. Amato, goal number 7 on the season.
And it's a big one. It draws Delbarton even with Seton Hall Prep with 9:10 left to play in the second quarter. And now Delbarton's found their mojo, trying to make it 4 in a row. And the shot never made it through to Angel. It got blocked down in front by Jordan Lugo. Seton Hall trying to settle this game down as they get the ball into the stick of the sturdy hands of Sean Light. Light clears for Seton Hall. That timeout has done wonders for Delbarton. 3 in a row in the first 3.5 minutes of this second quarter.
And we'll see what Coach Terranova has cooked up to get the Pirates back on the board and get them back in the lead.
You knew Delbarton was not going to go quietly here against Seton Hall Prep. There's Michael Dunleavy. Dunleavy gets checked down, keeps his possession, and flips it back out to the top for Rippey. Lugo joins the offensive attack. Looking for space is Lugo. Trying to use a screen from Schuster, instead works it to the far side for Rippey. Delbarton starting to clamp down on the defensive end. It's Schuster once again. Schuster trying to get to the middle. He'll let one rip. Gets checked down on the shot. It goes wide.
Good E right there.
.747 left to play here in the second quarter. Schweiger looking for space. There's Lugo in front. He'll fire a shot, and the Pirates back on top.
I think that one might make his huddle tape. The Selly coming off the hit doesn't get prettier than that.
Jordan Lugo puts Seton Hall Prep back on top 4-3 on an acrobatic shot after he left his feet for his 6th goal of the season.
My favorite part about that shot is you absolutely 100% know every single time, dude, you're going to get rocked. You're going down. It's going to hurt. But the sweetest prize sometimes takes the bitterest pill.
So both teams trade 3-0 scoring runs. Seton Hall back on top, though, on the goal from Lugo. Delbarton on the face-off, win, and we're tied again. Off the face-off, it's Ryan Trafford.
And we are going to have to start talking about the face-off dominance of Delbarton. They have gone 3 consecutive, and that one goes to the Navy man from the BBL program, the future midshipman. Will be joined by Andrew Daly of Seton Hall Prep, who are serving our great nation.
For Trafford, his 6th of the season, and it ties this game up at 4 with 7.5 to go in the second quarter. Pirates trying to control off the face-off. Lugo had it, lost it, still loose on that far end. He gets shoved out of bounds, and it's going to Delbarton.
Seton Hall Prep fans, they wanted a little loose ball push. Not going to get it.
Both teams have matched each other offensively. First 3 went to Seton Hall. Next 3 to Delbarton. Pirates took a 4-3 lead. Delbarton has tied it at 4, looking for their first lead today. We thought this was going to be a low-scoring matchup. Already 8 total goals, still with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
We absolutely knew the real winner is you at home watching on the NFHS Network on the D1 Media Pro page.
Angel was so good in that opening quarter. Delbarton has been able to beat him 4 times here in the second. Far side for the Green Wave. It's Ferrara. Hounded there by Light. Cannot work around him as Light pushes him out towards the far sideline. Ferrara able to spin around him towards the end line. Finally gives it up. 6:15 to play before halftime. There's a shot turned aside by Angel out to that far end. It'll stay with Delbarton.
You can tell what type of matchup this is. Dives for every single chase down. This is what you don't want to hear. You don't want to get the Delbarton faithful in this game.
They have found new life too as their team has tied the game up at 4. In towards the middle, turned aside by Angel. Unable to control the rebound, but the ground ball goes to Jonah Choi.
Absolute ice in his veins, standing up for that point blank one.
Pirates clear. Brody Davis is shut down there by Dixock. Under 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Julin off the sidelines. Head on to the attack along with Kensnovic. Here comes Tyler Julin. Got us started back in the first quarter. At the side of the cage, he ducks, he shoots, and he hit the top post. Rebound out to the far end. Pirates tried to stay in control. Pepe hit the turf. Ball still loose near the crease. Delbarton will work it in towards goal, and it'll be picked up by Troy. Beautiful stick work there by Pepe. He knocked it free. Not strong with the ball was Nick Dotro.
Not sure if he wasn't strong with the ball, man. That is an absolute pristine stick check to dislodge the ball. And now Prep gets to go back on the offense.
With 4.5 to go in the second quarter. The Prep trying to go back on top. Kensnovic with a step. He'll twist and turn. He'll fire a shot. And Seton Hall reclaims its lead.
And just look how far upfield they're playing him. And he says, I'll just do it step back sidearm.
Injured midway through the season in one of his first games back, he grabs his 20th goal of the year, and the Pirates have posted 5 in the first half on Seton Hall, on Delbarton. Pirate fans on the far end enjoying their team's success offensively here in this first half.
Yes, the Green Wave have been absolutely dominant at the dot. So let's see if he can get another one, and he does.
This time it's won back by Facone. Facone and Trafford have been really good winning faceoffs for Delbarton. 4 minutes left to go until halftime. Pirates have not trailed yet today. Delbarton has tied the score up on 2 separate occasions at 3-3 and 4-4. Delbarton led by head coach Matt Kovacic. Unbeaten against New Jersey competition. Their 3 losses, 2 to New York programs and St. Anthony's and Chaminade, and 1 to Malvern Prep of Pennsylvania, who Seton Hall will get a look at this weekend. Shot goes wide there, and it'll head back to Seton Hall.
Gets a good rip there, but again, it's closest to the ball, not closest to the line. Here's Brody Davis.
Davis directing traffic. He's got a ton of speed. Told you he was a tight end on the Preps football team, as well as one of their defensemen in the lacrosse program. He'll clear for Seton Hall and work it towards the end line for Schweiger. Pirates have led by as many as 3. Kensnovic looking for room, gets doubled, somehow splits it. Julin and Sable play catch. Julin will spin. Contorting his body, trying to go with a bounce shot, and it's covered there by Troy. And sends it out to the far end. Big check laid out by Pepe.
And that's going to stay blue.
And it stays with Seton Hall.
This is not soccer, boys. This is full contact.
Sable on it. He'll go back out for Julin.
Gotta love the Seton Hall Prep crowd. Green Wave crowd, absolute stunner. Filled literally 2 parking lots.
Yeah, it's going to take a while getting out of here at Delbarton, as that one never made it through. It got picked off by Julian Radisovic. The long stick looking to run, lost it as he tried to fire a shot. Sable was right on his back pocket. Radosic gets the ground ball, and timeout called by Delbarton. Their final timeout of this first half. 1:48 left to go till we hit the break. It's 5-4 Seton Hall, and we'll return right after this.
Come on, Ray. Oh, come on. Oh, what a bad call. You have no business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
Timeout, Delbarton. They trail Seton Hall Prep 5-4 with 1:48 left to play in the first half. Kevin Connolly joined alongside the coach, John Hay. We thank you for spending part of your Thursday afternoon with us here from Delbarton. Their number 1 versus number 2 in the state of New Jersey. Green Wave 12-3, Pirates 15-0. A lot on the line besides the number 1 ranking in the state. Also, the number 1 seed in the upcoming NJSIAA non-public North A sectional tournament, perhaps also on the line here today.
100%. You're not going to see a lineup like this one very often. Both teams. Also, this is the Essex versus Morris County matchup here. Both the Essex champ and the Morris champ. Kind of a nice county bragging rights on top of everything else that we're dealing with here.
Yeah, both teams won their county tournaments this past weekend. Seton Hall in a 5-4 nail-biter against James Caldwell, and Delbarton, well, they dominated start to finish against Mountain Lakes.
Yeah, 9-2 victory over Coach Flynn's squad. That is impressive.
No timeouts left for Delbarton for the rest of this first half. Seton Hall still with 2. Green Wave hit the post on a wicked shot from down low from Dixock.
Buck 26 left. We'll see if they try to slow this one down, only down by 1, or with their success at the dot, are they going to push the pace?
They'll work it across the field. They'll fire a shot that goes low. It'll stay with Delbarton.
Willie Doyle just off on that one.
We were talking about it during the break. Both the Doyles have been very quiet here in this first half. Pirates have done a great job on them. Outstanding stick work by Brody Davis, knocking the ball free from Dixock. Sean Light will track down the pass on the far end. Under a minute left to play here in the first half. Seton Hall will look to clear and perhaps burn one of their 2 remaining timeouts and set something up offensively. They'll get it to Elijah Rippey with 43 seconds to go in the quarter.
I was surprised. I thought they were just going to take it to the alley, but I think Rippey might see something here.
Again, Pirates still with a pair of timeouts left in this second quarter. Rippey's directing traffic, calls Kensnovich over to him. 25 seconds left. Ross Turco keeping his timeouts in his back pocket here in this first half. His team leading by a goal. Kensnovic around the crease, looking for space, drops it back out to the top. Schuster lets it rip, and the Pirates back up by 2.
Schuster had a magnificent 2-point game against James Caldwell High in the ECT. Right back at it, 10.6 remaining. And the Blue Crew up by 2.
And even 30 goals on the season for Brad Schuster, the junior from Seton Hall Prep. And with 10.6 left here in the second, it's 6-4 Seton Hall.
But this all starts right on the back side of this play by, who did I say earlier in the game, Brody Davis, the future pioneer, mixing it up, strips him away, and they're going back the blue way.
Well, can someone do something here off the faceoff? Seton Hall wins it. They're going to have to hurry. Pantano is tripped as he went down to the turf. His shot was wide. The clock stops with 1.7. It's going to go to Delbarton, but not much the Green Wave can do here with less than 2 ticks on the clock. They'll heave one down. Look out for anyone near that field house as it one hops up over the fence and over the track as the horn has sound on the first half. Seton Hall Prep with a 6-4 lead going into the halftime locker room against Delbarton. Don't go anywhere. Second half coverage coming up after these short messages from our sponsors at D1 Media Pro.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it for free.
Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. McKay's on touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
Halftime here at Delbarton. Seton Hall Prep with a 6-4 lead over Delbarton in the battle for New Jersey supremacy here on D1 Media Pro. It was a tough start for the Green Wave. They trailed 3-0 at the end of the first quarter, but 4 goals in that second quarter by 4 different goal scorers, Coach A.
Yeah, you got to see the ebbs and flows of this game. The lacrosse game, so divine, so perfect in just the fact that it is such an emotional game, and they have encapsulated that thus far. And you got to say, Aiden Troy starting to find his footing. He gave up 3 goals against on no saves, but he's starting to find his way. The BBL product on his way to Penn next year. He is starting to get into his groove, and that could be trouble for the Seton Hall Prep Pirates.
Well, for Seton Hall Prep, Adam Angel had a spectacular first quarter. Green Wave got to him a little bit in the second, but for Seton Hall Prep, 3 goals in each quarter, 5 different goal scorers. Their leading scorer, Matthew Pepe, leads the way with 2.
Yeah, we always want to talk about how important the game of lacrosse is. It's not just about 2 great programs playing each other. It's about the expansion of our game into different markets. And that's why I mentioned it earlier during the broadcast, and I want to highlight the philanthropic work of Nicholas Dotro, Gray Doyle, captain of Aiden Troy, of Willie Doyle, of Jack Sartorius, and Liam Larson. They came to the Ironbound. They did a clinic with some of the young people of the great city of Newark, and they just had an absolutely great time, and which just shows the high character of this program and of these young men, two of which are still uncommitted, Willie Doyle and Liam Larson, and Jack Sartorius, three. They are just A+ human beings. They had a big tournament in Maryland with BBL. Instead, they wanted to spend the very morning of that tournament in Newark, getting as much time with the youth of Newark as they possibly could. That just speaks to what they're doing over here at Delbarton and Matt Kovacek.
Well, it's 6-4 Seton Hall over Delbarton at halftime. Opening face-off of the third quarter in about 5 minutes. We'll be back then. Here from Delbarton.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it for Frazier.
Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. McKay, touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
Welcome back here to Delbarton at Coco's-Yellow Field. First half in the books. 6-4 Seton Hall Prep over Delbarton as number one takes on number two here in the state of New Jersey. Talked about it in our open. Depends what rankings you're looking at, but these are by far the two best teams here in the Garden State. We go by the NJ.com rankings. Delbarton at 12-3 is number one. Seton Hall Prep at 15-0 is number two, but those rankings could change over the course of the next 24 minutes.
Yeah, you absolutely know it. As always, I go by the lax numbers, which puts Prep number one in the state, Delbarton 2, and Prep is currently 18th in North America versus Delbarton 41st in the country. And you got to give it to Coach Giaquinto, and his defense has been absolutely lights out. We've talked about Davis, and we're going to highlight again Liam Oakes having an exemplary game out there. And, of course, you can never forget about the future Irishman, Sean Light from the Leading Edge program. This defenseman has been money this whole game.
4 different goal scorers for Delbarton. For Seton Hall Prep, of their 6 goals, 5 different goal scorers. Matthew Pepe, the only one with a pair, and he got Seton Hall really rolling in that first half.
And no rest for the wicked. The Pirates are going to be on the road on Saturday against the number 2 team in Pennsylvania, 21st team in the country against Malvern Prep. On the other side, they're going to get this Saturday Iona Prep This one is the 7th team in the state of New York. That's a 2:30 game. It will take place at a neutral site. They will be at St. Joe's Regional. Iona Prep this Saturday. Delbarton going to go to the neutral field. It is going to be a phenomenal one. The Malvern Prep game will be on the NFHS network.
Getting set for the start of the second half here between Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton. We were treated to an outstanding opening 24 minutes. Second half will be nothing short of that as well.
And again, able to keep the Doyle brothers off the board. They are buzzing right now, but this team is absolutely deep. When you look at Delbarton, if you want to find a kid who doesn't score in double digits, you have to go 8 down on the sheet. These kids all can boogie, and they can all bury the biscuit.
Well, Delbarton trying to change things up. Goaltender change for the Green Wave. Charlie Med now in between the pipes. Med has played 10 games this season, has made 31 saves, and has allowed 18 goals. So we'll see if that can try and spark Delbarton after Eden Troy gives up 6 in the first half. Matt Kovacic is making a change to Med.
What an interesting move in a game of this importance. He's got a 63% save percentage, but he's not nearly in as many games as the future Quaker.
Delbarton wins the opening faceoff to begin this third quarter. Four different goal scorers in that first half for Delbarton. On their first offensive possession, they're patient. Their top goal scorers were basically non-existent in that first half in Gray Doyle and Willie Doyle, as Adam Angel comes up with a save to open this third frame.
Yeah, future Jasper has been standing tall.
There's Brody Davis clearing for Seton Hall. The seas part for him. He comes right down the lane, drops it off for Pepe, and now Seton Hall set things up.
Quiet day for Sable thus far. We'll see what they got cooked up.
Pirates scored 3 goals in each of the first 2 quarters. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead. That's been their largest lead today. Delbarton has tied this game up on 2 separate occasions at 3-3 and 4-4. Pirates have never trailed. Julian right towards the middle. Oh, what a pass and a goal!
And that is a picture perfect quick stick right there.
Again, the middle was wide open, and Luke Kensnovic buries it top shelf, and it's 7-4 Seton Hall.
Yeah, you said that better than me. The future Colgate gentleman from BBL buries that one top right, or top left, pardon. And now it's a 3-goal lead for the Pirates.
Seton Hall Prep matches its largest lead today at 3. Second goal of the game for Kensnovic, 21st of the season. The face-off to Seton Hall. Pantano wins it.
Doesn't get much cleaner than that one. Now they get their offensive personnel out on the field.
There's Tyler Julian. Julian got this game started back in the first quarter with the opening goal of the game. Julian circles the field as he's checked by Nick Rispoli. Julian trying to work around him. Had a step, fires a shot. Oh, it ricocheted off his own man, off the chest of Kensnovic. He's a bit shaken up as he'll come to the Seton Hall Prep bench.
Yeah, it's a good thing they have those new chest protectors with the heart plate. The tireless work USA Lacrosse has done to make this game more safe for all competitors.
Well, Kensnovic a bit shaken up on the Seton Hall Prep bench after getting that shot in the chest from Julian. It looks like he's giving the thumbs up to the training staff here for Seton Hall and saying that he's good. Back down the other end with Delbarton. They've responded from a 3-goal deficit once today to score 3 in a row and tie this game up at 3. They have not led, and now they're trailing by 3 for the second time today. Around the cage they go. It's Gray Doyle. He'll give it up. Out to the top. They'll fire a shot. They try to go low on Angel, and he says not so fast.
Here comes Daly.
In transition for Seton Hall. Pepe with it. Out on the perimeter. He's being hounded and gives it up for Rippey. It's been a quiet day for Elijah Rippey.
Well, it's all about the team, all about the one-goal mentality. Non-public A, obviously, that one goal for this Pirate squad.
Trying to take its largest lead of the game. 7:50 to go here in the third. Kensnovic back on the field. Got a pair of goals. The most recent one as well. Drops it back off. Joe Del Moro getting some run with the top line here for Seton Hall. Rippey backpedaling. Delbarton forces Seton Hall to reset for Kensnovic. Kensnovic coming towards the lane. Around the crease he goes. Now at X. Patient possession here for the Pirates. Back for Rippey. This is what we were talking about in the first half, that when Seton Hall Prep gets the lead, they're so good at taking the air out of the ball and draining as much clock as possible.
And like I said earlier, they use the entire field. They're able to just gas out lesser opponents, but they can't do that to the Green Wave, one of the deepest teams in the state of New Jersey.
Del Moro around the cage, nothing doing. Now it's Sable, uses a screen from Del Moro. He looks for space, fires a shot high and wide. Nearly taken a minute plus off the clock on this possession. Del Moro puts it back in play. Uses the screen for Sable. Del Moro has space, turned aside. A kick saved by Med. The rebound comes out to the far end, and it'll go to the Green Wave.
Now that was a stunner. Kick save and a beauty.
Delbarton bench energized on the big-time save from the senior Charlie Med, who entered this game at halftime. Now the Green Wave at the side of Angels' crease, who has been outstanding through the first 2+ quarters. Gray Doyle forced out near the Seton Hall sideline. They'll give it up for Dixock. Ferrara. Daly right in front of him. Ferrara trying to direct traffic in towards the middle. He gets it there, and a shot goes wide.
Tries the spin shot there. You think that maybe if he set his feet, he would have gotten more control, been able to throw the head.
Came from Luke Carrillo. Ball's finally put back in play. It's Doyle who will re-enter. Doyle once again back out. One more to Ferrara. Has space. Trying to work around Daly. Fires a shot and scores. First of the game for Vincent Ferrara. And it's now 7-5 Seton Hall.
And you see that one, they just let him into the slot, able a step down crank shot. And unfortunately, you are not helping out your Tandy in a circumstance like that.
12th of the season for Ferrara, and it brings Delbarton back within 2 with 5:15 to go here in the third quarter.
Now the Delbarton dominance on the face-off X has started to shift. We'll see if they can pick up where they left off.
It'll be Nick Facone in white to take the face-off. He battles. A check knocks the ball free. Pirates trying to control with Theodore Coyle. They cannot. It goes to Delbarton. A bounce shot denied by Angel.
Just a release point. That is one of the hardest saves for attendee to make.
Well, Angel standing on his head here against Delbarton despite allowing 5. And Seton Hall off the save will now set things up.
Well, that's what, if you don't understand the game of lacrosse, you may say, hey, he let up 5, he let up 8, and you don't understand how difficult making a save. It's a small ball, a big net, and you don't have a lot of pads.
Michael Dunleavy gets on the scoreboard for Seton Hall.
Just an absolute run cannon, run and gun. 3-point lead for the Pirates.
10th of the season for Dunleavy, and the lead's back to 3 for Seton Hall with 4.5 to go in the third quarter.
Another leading edge man. He is heading to UMBC next year. University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Face-off violation on Delbarton. So Seton Hall with the ball, trying to go up by 4. They have not led by more than 3 today, although they've led by 3 on 3 separate occasions. Over halfway gone with this third quarter. It has been a good one as advertised between the top 2 teams here in the Garden State. Dunleavy back for Rippey. Elijah Rippey trying to find space. Rippey with 8 goals on the season, but as we mentioned earlier this quarter, it's been a quiet day for him. Now it's Jordan Lugo. He's also got a goal for the Seton Hall. Dunleavy just scored for the Pirates, his first of the game. Schuster got it knocked away, battling for it on the far end. It'll stay in play as Finn Leamy comes away with it for the Delbarton Green Wave, as he'll fling it across the field into the stick of Radicic. Radicic towards the middle. Delbarton able to clear. Here comes Nick Dotro. Now Gray Doyle works it around. There's Carrillo.
Joe's content getting their offensive personnel out there. Ice in their veins. Clearly Delbarton. They've been in so many big games. They are not going to rush the pace. They want to play their game.
So the fast-moving third quarter. 2.5 minutes left. Delbarton trailing by 3 once again. They're facing their largest deficit of the game. They've trailed by 3 on 3 separate occasions. Doyle trying to work around Light. Green Wave back out towards the top. Stutter step. But Delbarton cannot penetrate this Seton Hall defense. Brody Davis tries to come away with a check to not get free, but staying with it was Amato. Mason Mack with the stand-up defense on that far end as Delbarton tries to get a shot off to no avail. Brody Davis spins out of a triple team once more. Davis being hounded as he tries to clear for Seton Hall. He races up the sideline, splits another double. Now he'll be forced to give it up and turns it over into the Delbarton end of the field. The ground ball to Mason Mack, and he'll get it across midfield for Seton Hall, and it'll be a clear violation on the Pirates, and it goes back to the Green Wave as they'll try to move in transition. Shot from distance, it bounces in. Will Petticano the goal with 1:21 to go in the third.
Yeah, it's been about the long stick goal this afternoon. You could see that's number 2, and Petticano, that's his second goal, 4th point on the season.
The outstanding ride by the Green Wave forces the turnover from Seton Hall, and Petticano cashes in for the Green Wave to bring them back within 2 with 1:21 to go in the third.
And a faceoff violation.
It's to Delbarton. Trafford gives it up. Green Wave trying to stem the tide and turn the momentum in their favor. They'll circle the cage. Good check to throw off the timing of the play by Light.
Noticeable that the referees eating the whistle this game. They're letting these boys play. They do not want to be the determining factor in a matchup of this context.
Only one penalty on the day. It came against Seton Hall back in the first quarter. Delbarton wasn't able to cash in on the 30-second advantage. Can Delbarton cash in with under 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter? They're back within 2. They're back within 1.
And there he is, waiting. I've heard he loves New England. That is Willie Doyle, silent no more.
His 22nd of the season, his first of the game. And Doyle brings Delbarton back within 1.
Ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows. Apropos, since we are at the home of the Green Wave. Too cheesy?
Not that bad.
Never forget, I am a history teacher.
35 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Penalty flag flies right on cue. Man up coming for Delbarton, but they're going to try to cash in here before the end of the quarter and tie this game up. Can they erase another 3-goal deficit? They've done it once already when the Pirates led 3-0. Looks like Delbarton wants to just sit on these final 5 seconds and take the man up to begin the fourth quarter. Seton Hall Prep is still on top. They lead by 1, but Delbarton has all the momentum going into the fourth. We start the fourth quarter here in Morristown. Seton Hall Prep clinging to a 1-goal lead against Delbarton. Kevin Connolly and the coach John Hay with you here on D1 Media Pro. Pirates have led by 3 on 3 separate occasions here in this game. Delbarton has had an answer each time.
Deja vu all over again. I was sitting on top of the booth at Livingston High School for the Essex County tournament last Saturday, and Seton Hall Prep trying to hold on to that lead. But the goalie change for the Green Wave has really ignited a fire, but this has been a momentum game. They did not get a single shot on the last extra man offense. We'll see if they can do better on this power play.
Well, it's going to be a minute man up for Delbarton. They'll have possession to begin this fourth quarter. And the clock was not set before the official blew his whistle for the ready for play, but it's been Charlie Med in goal in this second half for Delbarton. He replaced Aiden Troy, who gave up 6 in the first half. Pirates have scored at least 2 in each quarter. Scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second, and then 2 there in that third. Delbarton's 0 for 1 on the man up here today. That was a 30-second penalty, but Liam Oakes now serving a minute penalty as Delbarton has tied it up. TJ Coffey ties the game at 8, and we're tied for the 3rd time today.
Delbarton has not been able to find their way into the lead, but they have been able to find their way back. That is their 3rd 3-0 that they've been able to come back for. Pardon me, 2nd 3-0 that they've been able to come back from.
20th of the season for TJ Coffey. None bigger than that as he ties this game up at 8, 20 seconds in to the 4th quarter.
If you are a lacrosse fan, you should have goosebumps. This is high-level lacrosse at its absolute best on the NFHS Network, brought to you by D1 Media Pro.
Delbarton has not led today. Can they do so here? They win the face-off and get it into the stick of Nick Dotro. Ray Doyle has been quiet. The Doyles have been quiet. Willie scoring late in the 3rd to bring the Green Wave within 1. Delbarton looking to take its first lead today.
Coming down the lane with some confidence.
It was Jack Satatorius. Satatorius once again, minute gone here in this 4th quarter. Deadlocked at 8. Game that's living up to the hype between number 1 and number 2 in New Jersey. Here's Doyle trying to work around Oakes at the side of the cage, and he'll flip it back out to the top. Pirates have not lost this season. Delbarton has not lost to a New Jersey foe. 2 losses to New York teams, 1 to a Pennsylvania opponent. Satatorius once again with Mack on him, gives it up, and a shot goes wide from Doyle.
Nice crank right there. Good backup. Dominating some time. Now that Delbarton is tied, they may try to slow things down, get into their pace. They've been trying to do it all game, but down by 3. There's no time to slow things down.
Amato with a step. Gives it up. Back for Doyle. Doyle's got Sean Light on him. Finds his brother Gray. Now out to the top. They have lane. They shoot, and Delbarton leads for the first time today. Jack Satatorius, his first goal, gives Delbarton a 9-8 lead.
Satatorius weighing his collegiate options for next year. Absolutely buries that one. 2 years from now, he is a 2024 grad. And that one is number 6 on the season, 9 points overall.
9:52 to play here in the 4th, and Delbarton leads for the first time in this game against Seton Hall Prep. Off the face-off, the Green Wave continuing to dominate. 4 unanswered for Delbarton against Seton Hall Prep. Nervous time for the Pirates. Their 15-game unbeaten streak on the line. Delbarton trying to take a stranglehold of that number 1 ranking in New Jersey. Aaron pass. Doyle, though, still picks it up. He gets hounded, tries to split through a triple team, gets it knocked free. Spinning down to the deck was Sable. It's still loose, and Delbarton somehow comes away with it with Dixon.
You love to see that one right there. Physical lacrosse. No whistles. Just exemplary ground ball work.
Referees, like you said, have really let the boys play here in this game. Just 2 penalties, both coming on Seton Hall Prep as Delbarton is 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Trying to take a 2-goal lead as a shot goes wide. 8:32 remaining here in the fourth.
Angels has been exemplary thus far this evening. Not a particularly demonstrative officiating crew.
Ferrara has a goal. Of Delbarton's 9 goals, they've been scored by 9 different players. Balance on full display for both teams. Seton Hall has 6 different scorers in their 8 goals. Taking his eye off the ball there was Carrillo. But Delbarton able to stay with it. It's Gray Doyle. Centering pass, they score! 5 unanswered for the Green Wave. This time it comes from TJ Coffey, his second of the game.
So the first repeat score, and Doyle's on the score sheet. That's a big assist. Put the Green Wave up by 2, 7:56.
21st of the season for TJ Coffey. It puts Delbarton in front by 2. They've scored 5 straight against Seton Hall.
The senior Steps member finds his way to Quinnipiac next year. Trying to find his way with some hardware.
Another face-off win for Ryan Trafford. What can't he do for this Green Wave team? And now they smell blood in the water, but how about the Pirate defense? That's been their calling card all season. They force a turnover. Rippey, pass was a touch behind him. He was looking to run, but now he has to slow things up with 7:33 to play.
Timeouts have been magical thus far this afternoon, so we're going to see. They might push the pace, get it in there, get the timeout, and then set up exactly what they want to, down by 2.
They want to burn one of their 2 timeouts, though, this early in a 2-goal game. But you're right, Seton Hall has performed really well coming out of timeouts as they'll fire a shot. It goes wide. Julian was hit back behind the play after he let the shot go. Both teams with their full complement of timeouts with 7 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Kensnovic with it now. He'll spin. Kensnovic towards the goal. He gets shut down by Dotro. Forced back out. Behind the cage, Julian. Julian looking for space. His shot goes high and wide. That'll stay with the Prep. Kensnovic again fires a shot. Might have gotten the post. Firing up the crowd is Charlie Med. Oh, how good has this kid been since coming in between the pipes after halftime? There's a shot, they score!
And just like that, the air comes out of the green crowd.
Second of the game for Tyler Julian, and the Preps back within 1.
That is the most dangerous part about being a goaltender in the great sport of lacrosse. You cannot allow your emotions to drive you. It's almost like being in a Porsche. You're going 200 miles per hour, but your body is staying exactly the same.
Med fired up the crowd after a couple of wide shots from Seton Hall, and then Julian quieted them down with his second goal of the game with 6:31. It's a 1-goal game here between Delbarton and Seton Hall Prep as Trafford wins the faceoff and sends back to Med as the Green Wave look to clear.
Please notice that they are now using light on the faceoff X.
Bounce pass from Radosowicz. Green Wave will get the right personnel out on the field with 6 minutes left to play in regulation. Everything you could have asked for in this game, and perhaps more, with 5:45 left. Sellout crowd here at Coco's Yellow Field. Kevin Connolly, John Hay with you here on the National Federation of High School Sports. That goal from Tyler Julin stopped a 5-0 Delbarton run that saw them turn a 3-goal deficit into a 2-goal lead. Can they go back up by 2 here on this possession? Amano had a goal earlier for the Green Wave. He'll give it up for Gray Doyle. 9 different goal scorers for Delbarton. Gray Doyle not one of them, despite coming into this game as the team's leading scorer with 23 goals. Does have an assist for his 52nd point of the year and 29th helper. Under 5 minutes left to play. Pirate defense came up with a turnover last possession that ended up in a Seton Hall goal. Defense has been their calling card all season long. Can it come up big once again down the stretch of this game? Adam Angel has been really good in goal, but Delbarton has been able to beat him here in this second half. Amato once again cannot get around Brody Davis. Under 4.5 to play. Sartorius had a big goal earlier in this quarter. Out to the near side, wicked shot, and sent wide.
Yeah, right-hand shot there. The ideal would be able to get it to the left, but with placement like that, he saw what he liked, took the rip, and they keep possession.
Clock moving, 4:10 to go here in the fourth. 10-9 in favor of Delbarton. And then we're gonna get a whistle, and it's gonna send things to Seton Hall. So the Pirates force the turnover. Davis clears. Under 4 to go, Seton Hall can tie it on this possession. Here comes Brody Davis. He splits through 3 defenders, but whistles come in, and Seton Hall is gonna call their first timeout of the fourth quarter. 3:50 to play. Can the Pirates work some magic coming out of the timeout? We'll find out after this.
Yeah. They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. But feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling
good. Timeout, Seton Hall prep. 3:50 to play in the fourth quarter. They trail Delbarton by a goal. This is a Delbarton team that had not led in this game until the fourth quarter. They went up by as many as 2. Tyler Julin brings Seton Hall prep back within 1. Now they'll try and tie.
Yeah, you got to see coming out of the timeout last time, very successful. But again, we're looking at a new goalie. Charlie Med comes into this game, 31 saves against 18 goals, against 63.2% save percentage. So,
Pirates scored 6 in the first half on the starter, Aiden Troy. They've scored 3 in this second half on Charlie Med, 2 in the third, and 1 here in the fourth.
If I had to take my guess here, they are going to be looking to get this one to the big man, get the Hattie, and throw it Matt Pepe's way.
Pepe has 2. Ken Novick has 2 as well, as does Julin. We're back underway. Pirates with 1 timeout remaining. Green Wave with 2. Under 3:45 to play in regulation. In the best rivalry in New Jersey boys lacrosse, who will win this installment? Perhaps the first time these two teams play this year, and that one is intercepted. Outstanding stick work by Ryan McLean.
We've been talking about all afternoon how patient the Delbarton offense is. They're going to take a lot of clicks. We're going to be inside 3 minutes very shortly.
I beg your pardon, that was Jake Melanconi on the interception for Delbarton. He already has a goal today for the Green Wave, but perhaps his biggest play was forcing that turnover, stepping into the passing lane, and with under 3 minutes to go, giving the possession back for Delbarton. Can the Green Wave find an early dagger? After Seton Hall turns it over out of the timeout, things looking bleak for the prep. Here's TJ Coffey. He's had a huge second half. Gives it up for Willie Doyle. Doyle shoots and sends it wide.
Doyle looking for number 2. Got a good rip on that one, just off.
Pirates going to turn up the pressure defensively. They'll do it with 34 in blue and Sean Light. Outstanding basketball player on a historic Seton Hall season on the hardwood, but he was applying the pressure to Gray Doyle, and it forces Delbarton and head coach Mac Kovacic to call their first timeout with 2:11 to play here in the fourth. 10-9 Delbarton. We'll be back after this. What a game we have on our hands. Delbarton 10, Seton Hall Prep 9. 2:11 left to play in the fourth quarter. Kevin Connolly joined alongside the coach John Hay. Seton Hall Prep has led by 3 goals on multiple occasions in this game. Delbarton has come back from every single one. Most recently, 5 unanswered goals to take a 10-8 lead. Pirates have the last goal, but Delbarton, an outstanding turnover force by Jake Melanconi, and Delbarton calls a timeout with possession of the ball. First timeout of the fourth quarter, both teams with 1 remaining.
Absolutely pristine use of your timeouts. You're going to be able to sway any sort of momentum the Blue Crew could possibly pick up.
We're back underway after the timeout. Can Seton Hall Prep force a turnover of their own? TJ Coffey has been a star here in the second half for Delbarton. He sends it in towards the middle. It's a high pass and it's turned over. Patrick Quinn with the ground ball. He'll flip it back to Brody Davis, who clears. Under 2 minutes to play. Davis with it. Pirates still have a timeout if they wish to use it. They called a timeout earlier this quarter and turned it over. Nolan Sable on the field, as is Tyler Julin, Pepe, Schuster, Schwieger, and Kens Novick. Sable with it now. 90 seconds left in regulation. Sable has a lane. Looks like Delbarton going to a bit of a zone. And the Pirates penetrate it. They'll shoot from distance. It goes wide, and it'll stay with Seton Hall with 1:20 on the clock.
Talked about a couple times, you might want to see them getting Sable into a shooting position and let him use that crank shot to beat the junior netminder.
Clock running. Schwieger puts it back in play. Schuster back to Sable at the top. Julin around for Pepe. Has been quiet. Kens Novic ties the game with 1:07 to play.
1:07. Could we be seeing some free lacrosse worth the price of the subscription on the NFHS network?
A hat trick for Luke Kens Novic. He ties the game up at 10 as Seton Hall Prep has rallied from a 2-goal deficit to tie this thing up. Kens Novic, goal number 22 on the season.
And you're only going to see this type of action on the NFHS network, presented by D1 Media Pro, Colgate bound.
Delbarton has dominated the faceoffs here in this second half, and they win another. Daly tries to check Facone. He spins out of Light and Daly. Here comes Facone. He'll drop it off for Doyle. Send it around the cage. Under a minute left to play in regulation in Morristown. Tied at 10 between Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton. Green Wave have a timeout if they want to use it. 40 seconds left before we hit overtime. A game that's lived up to the hype and more. Sean Dixock has a goal. He hands to Ferrara. He also has a goal. TJ Coffey, the only Delbarton player with more than one. He has 2. Gray Doyle, their leading scorer, doesn't have a goal. Hounded there by Oaks. 15 seconds left to play. Back out to the top for the Green Wave. Now with 12, they'll make their way in towards goal. A shot goes well over the top of the crossbar with 9.5 left. And a timeout now called by the Green Wave. That's their final timeout. We'll stay live with you here throughout this timeout. Coach Hay, what are you drawing up in the huddle if I put you in the shoes of Matt Kovacek?
Well, you're absolutely looking to get the ball in your hot hand. You're looking for Willie Gray. This is tailor-made for this young man. They're going to try it with his brother from behind. Now, the real problem they're going to run into is how astute the short stick defensive midfield is for the Seton Hall Prep Pirates. They've been trying to attack the short sticks, but the short sticks are called Brody Davis and Daly.
You also have to worry about the big body of the long stick of Sean Light. Gray Doyle, no goals today for Delbarton. Willie Doyle with 1. They are the Green Wave's top 2 leading scorers coming into this game. Gray with 23, Doyle with 21, now with 22. Delbarton breaks their huddle on the near sideline, as does Seton Hall Prep. 9.5 left in regulation. Does the Pirate defense, which is their calling card in their program, have one more stand in them to send this game to overtime, or will Delbarton have a walk-off winner and send this crowd into a frenzy?
Kev, it's all about Adam Angel. This kid's got ice in his veins. Last week in the ECT, I saw him stand up and rob one from the Chiefs to stay perfect.
We're underway. 9.5 seconds left. They'll get it to the near side, and Dixock trying to work his way around. Can't get around Daly. Fighting towards the middle. They'll fire a shot turned aside by Angel, and we're going to overtime.
I promise I don't have foresight. I've just seen this kid play.
What a save from Adam Angel, one of his biggest of the season, and he sends us to overtime between Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton, tied at 10 goals apiece. Oh, don't go anywhere. Overtime coming up when we return here on D1 Media Pro. We are going to overtime between Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton, deadlocked at 10. Kevin Connolly, John Hay with you here on D1 Media Pro. Overtime rules, they'll play 4 minutes, sudden death. First goal wins, each team gets a timeout. John Hay, what are your keys to each of these teams winning here in overtime?
Well, Delbarton's been absolutely devastating on the X, so we're going to see, do they put out the long pole? They are going with the future Irishman. They're putting him on the X. They're just playing defense straight away, and you put this one in the hands of Adam Angel. This kid is special, and you're about to see it.
He comes up with a save at the horn to give Seton Hall Prep a chance in overtime, but it's Facone who wins the face-off against Light. Ross Turco has been going with Sean Light. Here comes Facone, right down the lane. Can't get a shot off. Brody Davis steps in and prevents a potential game-winning goal for the Green Wave. Delbarton's had all the momentum, really, since halftime, specifically in this fourth quarter.
But as we saw when we started the second half, they made the goaltender change. Goalies change everything. They change momentum. They dictate the pace. Seton Hall Prep is going to be buzzing after that magnificent save.
Adam Angel, can he come up big once again? Delbarton will try and beat him one last time and go home victorious. Here's Doyle. near side, in towards the middle. Oaks providing the defense. Delbarton works it around. They'll fire a shot, and it's devoured by Angel. The Seton Hall goalie does his job in overtime. Now can the offense find a winner? Under 3 minutes to go in this first overtime period. And a timeout called by Seton Hall Prep as they splurge off the sidelines.
2:46. They have had a lot of luck coming out of the timeout. We talked about it right there. We're going to see what Anthony Terranova has cooked up for this Green Wave defense. This kid, pardon me, Charlie Med has been quite good. He's only given up 3 goals thus far in his 4 goals since stepping in between the pipes. The highest stress situation, sudden death overtime in the great game of lacrosse. Just so you know, Kevin, unless you didn't do the math, it's 6 by 6, 36 square feet. You have a stick and a piece of cardboard on your chest. You got to stop them.
For Seton Hall, who do you go to offensively? Luke Kensnovic has a hat trick. Tyler Julin with 2 goals. Matthew Pepe with 2 goals, as does Tyler Julin. Brad Schuster is one of their best scorers. Who are you going to?
I got a weird one. I want Christian Schweitzer, 25 goals, 17 helpers on the season. I could see number 31 tickling the twine and sending Seton Hall Prep to the undisputed number 1 spot.
Schweiger doesn't have a goal today, but he's got 25 on the season. Pirates out of timeouts. Delbarton still has 1. Can Charlie Med and the Green Wave defense come up with their biggest stop of the season? Pirates trying to come back from a 2-goal deficit late in the 4th quarter. We're back underway. What did Ross Turco and his coaching staff draw up out of the timeout? Here's Tyler Julin. It's your typical attackman out there for Seton Hall. Kensnovic sets the screen. Julin towards the net. He'll twist and turn, give it up for Kensnovic. He's got a hat trick already. Kensnovic looking for space, stumbling his way out onto the perimeter. Back to his feet after he passes for Sable. Now it's Julin. Kensnovic is banged up. He's coming to the sideline, but Seton Hall wins from Tyler Julin. A hat trick wins it for the Pirates, and they're going back to West Orange as New Jersey's number 1 team.
And just like that, the Pirates are 16-0. You gotta love it. Somebody looks
Kensnovic, as he stumbled to the deck, cramped up, and Tyler Julin and the Seton Hall Prep Pirates are going back to West Orange as the best team in New Jersey and a 16-0 record.
And the Green Wave, that is one exemplary game. They just suffered their first loss on the Garden State soil of 2023. And just like that, the Pirates, they are going to be going to Malvern Prep, all sorts of buzzing, because they are now the number 1 team in the state of New Jersey, taking on the number 2 team in the state of Pennsylvania.
Tyler Julin scores goal number 25, 26, and none more important than goal number 27 that gives Seton Hall Prep an 11-10 win over Delbarton in overtime. A game that has lived up to the hype and then some. This was a game that was really controlled by the Pirates through the first 2.5 quarters. Delbarton made their run, 5 unanswered goals. They went up by 2, but Seton Hall Prep had the wherewithal in them to rally, and Adam Angel in goal. 2 huge saves, 1 at the horn in the 4th quarter, and then 1 on the opening possession of overtime.
The only thing you could say is magnifique. Adam Angels is the all-star of this one, coming up with that save that saves the game at the horn. He's going to lead the handshake line, and a unique aspect of NJSIAA lacrosse. We shake hands like gentlemen, and we're going to move on to 16-0 and 13-4, respectively.
What a game. It lived up to the hype and then some. Perhaps the first of 2 meetings between Seton Hall Prep and Delbarton this season. We'll have to see if they meet again in the NJSIAA non-public North A sectional tournament. But that's going to do it for us here from Delbarton. For my broadcast partner, Coach John Hay, I'm Kevin Connolly. Once again, your final score, Seton Hall Prep 11 and Delbarton 10. Tyler Julin, the overtime game winner for the Pirates, as they'll head back to West Orange with a very happy bus ride.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it from Frazier.
Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. Seton, touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Frazier.